little slices of strawberries.
Okay.
And then I didn't see if there were like apples or. We'll slam that right there. There we go. Yes, sir. Sure.
Ethan, once my meat is steamed, it's good to go. You don't need to do anything else to it.
Yeah. So there is also there's a mixture there that says Greer taco seasoning.
Yep.
It's still in there. We probably need to add a little bit more to spice it up, just a jab.
Okay.
Just a jab.
To the chicken or to the beef?
To the beef.
So the chicken's good.
Chicken should be good to go.
Alright.
I'm feeling that chicken's banging.
No apples, but she said she saved a case of bananas.
Okay, we can throw
You
those
didn't know
in.
if you want bananas?
What do you think?
I mean, I love bananas, but it's
Let's do it.
whatever.
Yep.
And then the canned peaches, it's up to you if you want to throw any.
We'll keep it fresh.
That's what I was thinking.
All right. We're gonna Alexa. Yeah, I like the look. It looks pretty good. It doesn't need much.
Okay,
But there is some in there.
Okay, just
You can probably need about a half of that.
okay, of
That way-
mayonnaise
yeah,
on
that
each
way-
one.
Yep, that way it's
Okay.
nice and creamy.
Alright.
Oh man, they're gonna love that.
Oh yeah,
Look
they
at how,
will.
look at the colors.
Oh yeah, they
Is
will.
that camera rolling?
Yeah.
Come in close, look at this. Look at that, look at the yellow, look at the green, the purple. It's so visually appealing. Look at that.
So good.
So, Chef Greer,
What's up?
what are the plans for the Takis?
For the tacos?
Takis.
The Takis. Alright, we're working with like 40 bags of Takis. Who doesn't love Takis? And if you know anything about Takis, Fuego is the way to go.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
they're just Fuego. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our Takis and we're going to put them in a blender to make them kind of into a powder. We're going to take our elote. Now elote is typically the full ear of corn. And it'll be cooked and we'll brush it with mayonnaise or tortilla cheese, maybe some chili powder, maybe some fresh cilantro. But my little spin on it is to make it into a salad, if you will. It's served warm. We take the Takis in a powder, sprinkle it over the top, a little tortilla cheese over the top, and some fresh cilantro, kind of making it the colors of a Mexican flag. So that's our plan. And I'll probably eat about 3 bags of these myself.
Oh yeah, there's
Alright.
5 for.
Perfect. So we'll get these blended up and then I'll get you a sneak peek to see what it looks like, okay?
Awesome, thank you. Fresh bananas too?
Yes.
Awesome.
So it's going to be strawberry, pineapple, banana with lime juice, a little of the spicy tahini, and crushed mint.
Sounds amazing.
So here we're working our Takis. And so you put them in a blender, preferably a food processor, but we're working with what we got. So thank you to, I think this might have came from the home economics for giving us the materials we need to make it work. So put your Takis in here. There you go. Sometimes it's a little tricky. I'm not trying to break anything, but hey, run them up, and at the end of the day, you're gonna have something that looks a little bit like this.
Oh, wow.
So that's straight just crushed up Takis. You're gonna put that on top of the corn, so you're gonna get the creaminess of the corn. You're gonna get the spicy from the Takis. But it's gonna give it a little crunch, a little texture. It's just something, you know, there's something for every single taste bud on your tongue.
I love that. That's
Nice.
gonna be so good.
Absolutely.
Do you know where everything
But it's a
is?
little bit of work. It's a little bit of work when you're using a blender. But we're gonna make it happen. 40 bags later.
Thank you. Look at all those Takis up there.
In my restaurant, we have proper equipment. It probably takes us, we use about 9 bags of Takis per day, which is a lot. This Latte Salad that I'm preparing for everybody today is one of our most popular items. We can serve up to 100 pounds of it a day. It's a lot of corn. So that'll take about 9 bags of Takis. So when you go 5 days a week, you're looking, you know, almost 50 bags of Takis a week. So it's a lot of Takis, but I love them. You know, anybody who knows what tastes good loves Takis. So I tried it with hot Cheetos before, and the hot Cheetos are a little bit too airy. But being that these are like corn, essentially a corn tortilla that's wrapped up and fried, they have a little bit more texture. So not only can they handle getting crushed up and still keeping a little body and texture to it, they'll last a little bit longer. So once you crush up Takis, so let's say you want to crush up some Takis, impress your parents at home, make something kind of cool. I'm thinking you could take some chicken, you could like mix in some of this with some flour and maybe some seasonings and bread your chicken and deep fry it and make some like Taki chicken tenders. How good does that sound? I just came up with that. I think I'm gonna make that later on. You could bread some fish. You know, maybe you have some tilapia or something that you got from Kenny's. Bread it up with some Takis on there. Maybe make some like chipotle crema or some chipotle tartar sauce. Make something spicy with the Takis. There's so many different things that you could do with it by just improvising and making it into something different. Or if you're a madman like me, you'll just sit down, get you a Coca-Cola, a couple bags of Takis, and call it a night.
So did you create this recipe yourself?
Yes. So the actual corn salad in itself isn't my original idea. You know, you can see it all over wherever, Pinterest, wherever people get recipes from. And I was working on a yacht in the Bahamas, and I was making a Mexican-inspired meal, and I made it. Originally, it was meant to be cold, and so you know, I prepared some fish, some shrimp, and I made this corn salad, and the guests loved it. And so I prepared it again for the next guest that came, and it turned out to kind of be a hit. So I was living in Miami while I was also working on a yacht. And when I would come home from the Bahamas and I would be in Miami, I'd spend time writing recipes. And I was writing this recipe, and I thought to myself, well, how can I make it visually appealing to the guests? I don't want to just slop, you know, something into a bowl and say, here, take this. So I got the idea of the Takis because I actually was dating a girl and her daughter would always eat Takis. I never had Takis. And she'd always eat them, and I ate them, and I remember, oh my goodness, they're so spicy. But I thought to myself, this is exactly what this dish needs. It needs that little zing to it. So I had this idea, I would crush them up and kind of just sprinkle them on there, and it would make this, you know, the red. And then here comes the cheese, there's the white, there's some fresh cilantro, there's the green. And we started doing that on the menu for my restaurant. And we were putting it together, and it was warm. And my girlfriend at the time, who's now my wife, she took a bite, and she was like, you gotta serve this warm. And I was like, really? I was like, I don't know. I took a bite, and I was like, all right, you know, you might be onto something there.
Yeah.
So now we serve it warm, we put the Takis on there, and we can't keep them away. Yesterday was Cinco de Mayo. We actually served 10 cases of Mexican street corn.
Oh wow.
So, really busy. Cool. All right, well, let me get working this, and then I'll meet you over on the other side, and we'll start showing you the fruit salad that we're working on, okay?
Seems good.
All right.
Awesome, thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you want me to scoop some of that into these?
The what?
Thank you, it means so much. So right now we're seasoning up our refried beans. Is it rolling? Cool. We're seasoning up our refried beans. We're using sofrito. Sofrito is bell peppers and onions and garlic, fresh cilantro, fresh oregano, a lot of different herbs and a lot of peppers just to give it that like fresh zing. So what we're doing is just trying to elevate your typical refried beans. And then we're just gonna go in with some fajita seasoning that staff out here. Just gonna sprinkle them up a little bit. And by doing this,
smells very great.
yes, by doing this, pinto beans in themselves may not have a lot of flavor, but by adding the freshness and adding a little seasoning, it's just gonna take them to the next level. So we're really excited to see how this one comes out.
Yeah,
Cool.
smells amazing.
Thank you.
Like a skin on that?
Alright, so how are we looking? However many, just a good mix. I'd say you probably want more pineapple than anything.
This is already half,
Okay.
so you want to tell us how much I like that?
Do what?
You want to tell us how much stuff?
Okay. I mean, we can put a lot of here. That's a lot of bananas. So, what were you suggesting? Like,
If you want more stuff,
yeah. I mean,
you want to tell us when to stop with the others, or what, that's up to you.
well, I'm thinking if that's all the pineapple that we have, and that's all the pineapple that we have some cheeses that we can still put in there. I just wanted to make sure that we have enough to serve. So, if you need it, yeah, I can get your mango. And then I'll put Takis and I'll be back and then we'll set up as much for
My hair blowing away. Are you gonna put the tahini in here, or is that just?
Yes. He
Oh my
said,
God!
he said it's going to be tahini, fresh lime juice, and chopped up mint.
Oh, so it's like, oh my god, look how colorful it looks. It looks so good. How fresh the pineapple is. Hi, Dana.
Every morning. Yeah.
I graduated in 90.
I'm catching up.
Should I wait for you? Oh my God, you're gonna make us look bad. See? Want to move that down?
Secretly, the bananas might be the best part
Yeah.
because they're gonna soak up all the juice.
So the ratio with the fruit, is it all the same?
Right now the ratio is whatever it looks like at the end. We don't really have a recipe.
How about that?
All we
Going with the
know is
flow.
that the fruit is fresh. It's gonna be jazzed up,
Oh yeah.
and so you can't really go wrong. So this dish is called Mexican street fruit. So if you're anywhere like on the street, not anywhere, but when you are in Mexico, it's very hot, and so the Mexican people have found a lot of ways to, like really, I'm trying to find the right word, what I'm looking for here, but they like to take their fresh fruit and jazz it up so that it's refreshing but also exciting at the same time.
Still authentic with
yes.
the spice and everything.
So they really like sour things like chamoy, and lime juice, lemon juice on their fruit to, make it a little bit more fun and enjoyable. You also see like Makonadas are really popular right now. So when I was in Mexico, there was this little cart and they took fruit and they would mix it in a bag. So you would get like some watermelon, some mango, some apple, and they would mix chamoy and tahini to give it the like sourness but a little spicy from the tahini, and some fresh mint, agave nectar. So it's like sweet and sour and a little spicy, but so refreshing. And when I took a bite out of it, I was like, where was this all my life? Like, this is really fun and enjoyable. So now I just create kind of the same thing in the summertime at my restaurant. And I thought, hey, this would be something really awesome to share with everybody today by just taking some fresh fruit and, in the spirit of Mexico, just, hit it up with a little chamoy. Today we're going to use agave nectar, which is, it's not sugar, but it's all natural, but it's sweet. And it comes from the agave plant. The agave plant is most known for producing tequila, but it has a pulp in which that they'll cook out to make tequila, but you can also extract a nectar from it that is sweet, and it's almost like honey. So it's enjoyable, and when you're preparing Mexican cuisine, it's just ideal to use instead of using sugar. So we'll sprinkle some of that in there for some sweetness. We'll add some fresh lime juice to give it some zing and sour. I think chamoy would be a little intense for everybody's palate. I'm not really the biggest fan of it, but I don't want to go too crazy. So we'll just use some fresh lime juice and a little tahini. Not too much, but just enough that you know it's in there. And then we're gonna finish it with some fresh mint. And I think that the mint will give you that real summertime vibe. Make you wanna feel like you're on the beach, drinking virgin mojito, pina colada.
Don't drink alcohol.
Yep. Make you feel like you're on a Royal Caribbean cruise.
I love that.
Man, I'd love to go on a cruise right now. I'd love to be anywhere that is not York right now.
I love how colorful it looks.
It is so beautiful.
It is. Everything just looks so fresh and nice.
Yep.
This is amazing considering like how nice the weather has been lately and
Absolutely.
yeah. It's a good end of the year present for all students here.
Yeah. You know, and I think we're about to enter strawberry season, so if anybody wants to, am I right about that?
Yes.
If anybody wants to make this dish at home, you know, impress your parents, your grandparents, you know, cookout season's coming here soon. You know, just take a big bowl of fruit and just jazz it up. You know, I feel like, what is really a fruit salad? That's a question that I want to ask. It's just fruit mixed together.
Yeah, whatever fruit you really want to add.
So why not take it to the next level and add some seasonings as well? You know what, I'll tell you, Robin, that smells pretty good.
That does. You want to put anything else in it, honey?
I think I'm going to take a little bite just to make sure it has
Okay.
enough
Let me get you a spoon here.
But you smelled it as soon as it came out the oven.
Oh my word, it smells so good. I need a spoon.
Oh, right here on the other side.
Here you go.
Okay. So we're going to bring the camera over here. So we have our taco meat here. This is a ground beef. It's prepared essentially in the same way that you would have tacos at home or at school, what have you, but we're going to jazz it up a bit. So we stewed it, we almost like slow cooked it, if you will, and a sauce, we have some sofrito in there, and our own little spice mixture that we made together. So it's actually like a stewed beef, so it's inspired by more Dominican style cooking, but with Mexican spices. So this is called Carne molida Asada. So that's ground beef stew. And it's got the cumin in there, the chili powder, the garlic, fresh cilantro, the sofrito. It's got all those really awesome flavors that just make this a bomb. I'm actually going to have Robin try it.
Oh my god.
She likes.
Delicioso.
She likes.
Oh my god, it smells so good.
You need some spices?
Oh my god, that's good.
Just go like that? Okay, I'll leave her alone.
We're on the cruise, so we got this.
Excellente.
So we're working on it. We're working on it.
Oh my gosh, that's good. Woo, you kids will love it. Love it, love it, love it. You want to taste it, anybody? Alright, anybody want to taste it? I know, now I'm hungry. Oh no.
How much do you normally do it first? Are we getting close? No? Okay. I can keep it moving.
Rob, are we cooking this or are we just putting it on the line and serving it out?
So what wasn't I telling you about strawberry season, right? I get distracted really easy. I got the ADD is real. Like what? So you got these strawberries. So there's some good things and there's some like, you know, nothing bad, but if you look, the strawberry, it's still got a little bit of white. So most of our fruit right now that we were transitioning out of the cold weather is kind of hydroponically grown. which means that they're kind of made like in a they're grown in a greenhouse. And so the good thing that we have here in New York is that we have so many strawberry fields. And when you look at a strawberry, you cut it, and there's really nothing but white. It's like all pink and red. You just know that you got a nice, juicy strawberry. And I'm super excited that my restaurant, we're gonna be able to have the availability to use these fresh strawberries very soon, like within like the next week or two, I think. And I think that we're gonna make like a sweet tamale, like a strawberry tamale with cream cheese. Just, you know, maybe we'll do some more fruit and other strawberries. And just take advantage of the good things that we have here. My grandmother used to always make strawberry jam with fresh strawberries, and we'd pick strawberries. And I just think to myself, wow, those memories are awesome. So how can I create something that's my own using these fresh strawberries? I think that's the way I'm going to go. We are not, but
I want to know how to make that. That's so good.
it's relatively easy. So I remember the first time that I made it, it was so good. I got better as I went.
Yeah.
But the origin of horchata is that, you know, you wash your rice. It has like a powder that comes on it, enriched rice. I'm not gonna act like I really know what it is, but that rice powder stuff, you know, you gotta wash it off and rinse it. And so when you're in an area that doesn't have running water, you know, water is really valued. So you still need to wash your rice, but you don't want to waste that water. So here you have this leftover like kind of milky water. What do you do with it? So someone, I'm sure like back in the Aztec days, they sweetened it with cane sugar, and they added a little cinnamon, and then they drank it. And you know, the weather's so hot that it was nice and refreshing. And so as it kind of went on, it was sweetened with seasoned with vanilla, and some other things. And you know, it just became a perfect accompaniment with that really hot weather and spicy food. You know, you're talking about an area that has all these chilies, and then they dry them, so their food naturally just becomes spicy. So that horchata really helps cool it down. So
I work at the Novos, and the guys in the kitchen in the summertime make some for us.
nice.
So good.
Absolutely. So this all started from my introduction to cooking class that I took when I was in the 11th grade.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes. So shout out to Mrs. Jennings.
That's awesome. I don't think so.
Yeah. I remember I got so much joy out of that class. She would let us pick whatever we wanted to cook out of a magazine. And she would run the Kenny's and get us the ingredients, and we would cook them. And I'll never forget, I wanted to make like a sweet and sour chicken. And so in sweet and sour chicken, you gotta add food coloring. And we didn't have the color, I think it was like whatever, red or orange, you know, to give it like a little color. And we have blue. So one of my first dishes that I made in introduction to cooking was blue sweet and sour chicken. Not too many people ate it.
Did you go to culinary school or are you self-taught or how is this?
Yeah, I sure did go to culinary school. So, I really loved cooking like my whole life. That was like just my thing. You know, I grew up just watching Food Network with my grandma.
Me too.
You know, we were watching Emeralds, you know, Iron Chef, all that stuff. And I kind of knew that that's what I loved. I remember being in like the first grade, and I created my first restaurant. It was called Tie-Dye Pizza. It was gonna be a pizza place, but everybody wore tie-dye t-shirts. Super creative. And when I got to middle school, and we first did home economics, it really opened up my eyes. You know, just making muffins or something like that. Yeah. I'm a terrible baker, so you don't want to see me making
Usually if you're good at cooking, you're terrible at baking.
Yeah, exactly. So once I got to middle school, you know, I started cooking in home economics or what have you.
Yeah.
And then once we got to the 9th grade, I had the ability to take a little bit more home economic classes, and that just became what I loved. I was a pain in the neck to those home economic teachers, I'll tell you that right now. I couldn't sew to save my life.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
But when it came time to cook, I was super on point, and I really loved that class, and you know, I owe a lot of respect to those ladies for what they taught me. But my senior year, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was like, you know, I guess I'll go to school, which you know, I wasn't really the best student, so thank goodness, you know, I didn't go try to become an engineer or something like that.
Yeah.
But Mrs. Jennings said, hey, Ethan, why don't you consider going to culinary school? And that was something that never really crossed my mind, that I would go and do something like that. And she suggested that I go to culinary school in Baltimore. I said, okay, I'll check it out. And I applied, and I got accepted like 2 days before graduation. And I just was like, all right, cool, this is what I'm going to do with my life.
That's awesome.
And so, once again, shout out to Mrs. Jennings. So I went to culinary school in Baltimore. The school's called Baltimore International College. The campus is in the Inner Harbor. So here I am, just some kid from Spring Grove. And I'm in Baltimore, running around, living it up. I'm acting like it was all good, but here I am, a broke college kid in Baltimore, and I just was exposed to so many new flavors, so many new cultures, so many new people, and that's something that I really suggest to any student, is you'll really find yourself when you are out there in the world, and it gets a little, you know, uncomfortable because you're not here in Spring Grove, but you just get to go experience something new and find out who you really are. And when I was in Baltimore, I was working. I worked at Camden Yards. I worked at a sushi restaurant. I worked at a P.F. Chang's. I worked at a Jimmy John's. I just was working.
Yeah.
And all along the way, you know, I took all these new experiences. I met all kinds of new people from different backgrounds, and I kind of not only opened up my heart, but I opened up my mind to what it was that I wanted to do. And I think, you know, being also, I'm not going to go that route, but anyway, I decided that I wanted to move to Miami. I don't know why, but, well, I do know why. I went to Disney World, and I talked to a cook that was there, and I said, hey man, how'd you do this? He said, well, I went to culinary school, and then I moved to Florida. So my whole youth, I was like, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to culinary school, and then I'm going to move to Florida. And so, at first it was Orlando, but then I got a little older, you know, got experience.
You matured.
You know, I was like, hey, you know, I like the beach and, you know, Latin culture.
Yeah.
Let me go check out Miami. So I visited and I fell in love. And then maybe like 6 months later, I I just moved there. I just like packed up my bags in a U-Haul and my little Ford Escape, and I drove 22 hours to Miami. And my grandfather came down there with me, and he bought me like a pan and some Gatorade, and he left me there. And I just had to figure it out. And I just was chasing the dream of just, you know, learning and being in the culture. And I did everything. I was a server. I was a used car salesperson. What else did I do? I did a bunch of crazy stuff. I worked in kitchens, but it was really tough to make a living because the cost of living is so expensive. But I just hustled. I just did whatever I needed to do. And eventually I was selling cars. And one of my coworkers was like, "Hey, I thought you were a chef, man." I was like, "Yeah, man, I am." He's like, "Nah, you're a car salesman." I was like, "Nah, I'm a chef." He's like, "Why don't you cook me something?" I said, "All right, I will." I said, "Give me 20 bucks." So he gave me 20 bucks and I cooked him lunch. He's like, "Man, this is good." And then he gave me 60 bucks. And the next thing you know, the next salesperson was like, "Hey, yeah, I want some of that." And you know, they're giving me money.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, I had a lot of money making these guys lunch. And I just was like, you know what, I can do this. So I quit my job and I just started selling food out of my house. And I was going like car dealership to car dealership. I was like selling food to my neighbors, to friends, just kind of selling plates. And I would sell them a lunch, maybe like a little fruit salad and a snack for $20. And I was really doing it. And it worked out really well. But the next thing you know, I felt like I needed a little bit more. So a friend of mine, not a friend of mine, but a friend of a friend, they started working on yachts. And they said, "Hey, Ethan, like, you would be great at this." I was like, "All right, well, let me check it out." So I took all the certifications to work on boats. It was crazy. You gotta like do like fireman training. You gotta do like life rescue training, CPR, all this stuff. I can't swim, so that was kind of hard. But I figured it out. And then like, I don't know, maybe like 2 weeks later, I was on a private plane on the way to the Bahamas to work on a yacht for 40 days. And I was like, look at this. Like, here I am, all the way from Spring Grove to the Bahamas. And it was so awesome. I'm out there just cooking whatever I wanted to, fishing, whatever I caught, I would serve to the guests.
Oh, that's the best.
Yeah.
Fresh fish is the best.
Yep, we would go diving for lobsters. I have a shellfish allergy, so that was a little dangerous. I felt like Steve Irwin out there. Froggy. That was a really bad Steve Irwin, but anyway, moral of the story is a lifetime experience. So I did that for about 2 years. I just kind of traveled. I started working on a private yacht. My boss had a net worth of like $87 billion. My man was paid. And he had like property in France and
Oh my goodness.
Hawaii, Europe, anywhere you can imagine. And pretty much my job was like just kind of get on the plane or get on the boat, and wherever he was going, I was going, and just cooking food. So I spent like 2 years just traveling the world. All along the way, I was just eating food and coming up with ideas. And I felt once again like, all right, I need something else. I need, you know, it's
You're
pretty
always hungry for something new.
always hungry. So my dad, you know, he was like, hey man, you come home, like, I'll help you out. I'll help you do something. And I was like, all right, I'll think about it. So I went home to Miami and just had my wheels spinning. Like, what can I do? Like, you know, York, are they going to be open to, you know, the flavors that I'm accustomed to? You know, I felt like, you know, also being different, and I say different meaning that, you know, that I'm brown.
Yeah.
When I was here, it wasn't, they might not have been a lot of people from different races. And I feel like that was one of the things that really drove me to get out and explore the world and become more comfortable. That can be kind of difficult, you know, when, you know, people may not understand you or you look a little bit different. And I became comfortable in that. And when I came back to Europe, I noticed that there was a lot more Asian people, there was a lot more Latinos, there was a lot more African Americans. And it made me feel a lot more comfortable. And I thought to myself, you know what, this is where I need to be. I need to be a part of this. You know, I need to do something that people can really appreciate. And I kind of just came up with the idea of Taqueria EL Camino. I'm not Mexican, not even Latino. I don't make tacos. I just had to figure it out. And I just figured, you know, tacos would be something that everybody can enjoy. And so...
Well, what kind of cooking did you grow up with?
I always thought that I was going to be like an Italian chef. I don't know why. But I grew up, my dad is from Nashville, Tennessee. So I spent a lot of the summers in Tennessee. So I grew up with, you know, traditional Southern cooking. My mom is from here, so I grew up with the Pennsylvania Dutch, you know, cooking.
Yeah.
So I grew up with fish fries, but also grew up with hog maw,
Yep.
you know, rice soup, all that stuff. So my dad and my mom were both in the military, so they both travel the world. So they both are always open for new things. So I was eating sushi at such a young age. What other weird stuff did we eat? I remember my dad was like, hey man, there's some oxtails on the table for you. I'm like, what is oxtails? But oxtails are delicious.
Yeah, oxtail's good.
So I just grew up eating a bunch of different stuff, and I think that when I got to kind of figure out my identity, my culinary identity, I realized I can't be an Italian chef because I'm not Italian.
Yeah.
You know, I can't be, I don't know, I can't really be anything specific because I'm so many different things.
Right.
So I just wanted to be really good at all those things. So that's why, you know, through my travels, I was always on my grind. I was always studying. I was always trying to figure out, hey, how does this person do that? How do they do this? And once I kind of really discovered Latino food, that's when I was like, oh man, I love this.
Yeah.
So, you know, I discovered Puerto Rican food, you know, going to a Noche Buena, you know, Dominican food, Cuban food,
Right.
all those things. And I was like, man, this is what I love. And so going to Miami, that was the place for me to be because you have all those things, including Nicaraguan food, Argentinian food, Brazilian food, on top of all those other things. So when I got down there, it was just an explosion. And when it came to Mexican food, you know, the only Mexican food I knew here was like El Rodeo. So
Yeah.
no knock on El Rodeo, but
No, but
That's the
that's
only
just
thing-
all we got around
yeah,
here.
that's just kind of what I was exposed to. So I remember my friend was like, hey man, you got to go down here to wherever this place is. I was like, all right. I don't know what tacos are. I mean I know tacos, but I don't know like that.
Yeah.
So I go and I check out this taco spot, and I was like, damn, this is delicious. Why have I never known that tacos can be this good? And so I started going there like 3 days a week. And even though I was going because I'm hungry, I was really going because I was studying the food. And I just fell in love with tacos. I was like, man, like this might be something that I can do because I can take all of my cooking styles and just create my own identity, but put it in a tortilla.
Which you did.
Which is what I did.
Yeah, you've got all kinds of
Yeah. So
amazing
that's awesome that you
things.
can recognize that. I really appreciate that. Air fist bump. And so I started watching YouTube videos, looking up some recipes, and I was like, you know what, man? I gotta go to Mexico. So I called my friend. His name's Johansi. He speaks fluent Spanish. I can't speak that good Spanish. I can say something to the ladies in Spanish. Can't really do much else. And, catch Spanish. I know all food, but nonetheless, I needed someone who could help me get around. And we just decided we were going to go to Mexico. So we packed up our bags. My job that I had, I would work for 30 days. I'd be in the Bahamas or wherever. And then I would have 30 days off. So I just had to find something to do with my time. I figured, hey, let's just leave and go to Mexico. So we went out there, and when I tell you we ate everything, oh my goodness. We were just eating non-stop. And
sounds like a trip I'd like.
yes, I suggest you go. And I think that was one of the things that was like really, it was a pinnacle in my career because I realized that I could do it. And I think that we get so caught up in, like what I was telling you, an Italian chef must be Italian.
Yeah.
A Puerto Rican chef must be Puerto Rican. A Hawaiian chef must be Hawaiian. But what we're not paying attention to is the art. You can be anything you want,
Right.
And when it comes to, culinary artistry, who says I can't be a Hawaiian chef?
Exactly.
So when it came to Mexican cuisine, I had that fear of not being accepted, especially in Latino cooking, not being accepted because of me not being Latino. I can't even speak Spanish. What am I doing?
Right.
So I guess the food better be banging, right?
Yeah.
So I decided, you know what, I can really do this. And I just started cooking. I just got a little Instant Pot, and I just started cooking and figuring it out. And just working on my salsa, working on my guacamole, working on, my recipes for my carnitas, my carne asada. And I got to the point where I would just go to my friend's house and cook. And they were like, oh man, it's banging. I'm like, don't gas me. Don't gas me. Is it good? They're like, man, it's good. And that's when I got the confidence. So I called my dad. I was like, hey man, you serious about what you said? Yeah, man, come home, I'll come up. I'm like, alright. So then I got on a train. I put my little Mini Cooper on the train. I packed up everything I had inside the Mini Cooper. And I just showed up back here in Spring Grove. My parents were like, what are you doing? I was like, I came home to start a restaurant. And they're like, okay. I moved back into my old bedroom. Here I am, 28. Back in my mom's house. Food's delicious. But now I gotta follow the rules and stuff. Take the dog out. But it was whatever because I was on that grind. I was hungry. I wanted something more than what I had. And I was just looking for a restaurant. And 27 days later, we got the keys to Taqueria EL Camino. And with the help of not only my mom, some friends, contractors, we opened up like 6 months later. So the only thing that I would want to tell anybody, just based off of my experience, is that I came from Spring Grove. I traveled the world. I did everything like I just told you. And that's not bragging. That's just having that desire for more, and knowing that if there's something that I wanted, I had to go figure that out. I had to go find it. And home is always home. So when I came back, I felt amazing, but I left and I found out who I was. And no one can ever take that away from you. So if you want to design fashion, or you want to cook, or you want to do architecture, or anything. Sometimes you just gotta stay hungry. You just gotta get on that grind and go get it.
Right.
All right, so let's remove this stuff. Since I jumped over here. It's up to you.
No, it's up to you.
It's literally your call. Is that enough?
Oh yeah, that's good. We're just
Okay.
gonna scoop out
I'm okay
spoonfuls of
right
it.
now. I'm not really good.
Okay, the only thing I need now is a fresh mint.
The French mint.
What?
you come up with the like style, like the look of your restaurant? Because it's very eye-catching, and
Yes.
there's a lot of murals and beautiful artwork.
Absolutely. So being in Miami, it's like the art epicenter of the world, and that was a really cool experience for me as well, because here I am, like, you know, just a kid from Spring Grove. You know, you see one color, it's kind of gray,
Right.
and then here I am in this place, it's just so colorful, and I just, you know, you have artists from all over the world that come and do street art, graffiti, etc., etc. And I felt like that needed to be a part of my vibe. And, you know, I think now everybody wants something that's like aesthetically pleasing.
Right.
And I think to myself, well, how can we do that but also be like vibrant and different and eclectic? And so I was like, all right, let's just bomb this whole place in graffiti. And so I reached out to a couple different artists, and they came out and they were like, all right, yeah, man. And now we have 16 artists in total. Every single wall that is in my building is covered in graffiti. So
It's so beautiful though.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
absolutely, and I think that just shows a lot about artists in Newark, and that, you know, they have so much to offer, but not so much canvas. And that can be said for a lot of people with a lot of things.
Right.
Like, hey man, I'm an awesome mechanic, but nobody will give me a job.
Right.
Hey, you know, I'm an amazing singer, but why am I not on Broadway? You know, hey, I'm an amazing fashion designer, but why don't I have a clothing brand? Hey, I'm an amazing chef. Why don't I have my own restaurant? And a lot of that is just, it's that grind that I was telling you.
Yeah.
Your time is coming. You know, everybody is special. Everybody has purpose. And you have to remain patient. I looked, one of the most cringy things that you can possibly do is look at like Facebook memories. And
Oh yeah. Oh my god. Especially your mom's Facebook
right? It's like,
memories.
Mom, no, stop! get off Facebook! And it was really funny because yesterday was Cinco de Mayo, and I looked at the memories. Of course, my mom's like, it's one of your favorite holidays today. I'm like, Mom, don't tell them that. So anyway, I think it was, I have to look at what year it was. But I had a post and it said, I will own a restaurant by the time I turn 28. And it was really funny because I was thinking to myself, well, I posted that on Cinco de Mayo whenever, and I remember I turned 26, and I was so like, almost depressed. I was just like, man, this isn't gonna happen. Like, I'm just gonna be like,
Oh my goodness.
Ethan, we're going to get out, so we have enough for everybody. We have a little cup for a sample of that, and then we're going to put whole bananas out.
okay, that's perfect.
Is that okay?
That's the only thing what are we looking at? Another hour?
10:30.
Okay, yeah, so after I finish this, I gotta go home.
Okay, sounds good.
Alright, I'm getting there though.
All right, take your time, honey.
Will
We're
do.
good. We have good time.
Perfect. So I'm a huge Kanye West fan. You know, maybe some of the stuff he's done or said lately, you know, hey, that's him. But as far as the music, you know, Kanye, just ever since I was a kid, ever since I was in school, he just has that like attitude that he's the best. And he really said that, and nobody really believed him. And I can kind of resonate with that. You know, that he felt like he knew who he was. He was true to himself when he didn't have any money, when he wasn't making songs, when he wasn't, well, that went downhill too. But anyway, now, you know, he's one of the most successful influencers of all time. He has, you know, one of the biggest clothing brands, shoe brands of all time, as well as being like multi-Grammy award winning. Like, he said that and nobody believed him, and then he went and showed everybody and undoubtedly became like the GOAT in like multiple things. And so I sit with that and I say, hey, you know, like, I really am like, I'm true to myself, but I really know who I am. I know what I can do. Not only in cooking, but maybe like in TV, you know, maybe in like comedy, maybe in like some areas of design, you know, artistically. Like, I know that I can do so many things and that I'm good at it. And I think that he really influenced that attitude. I'm also a big fan of Bobby Flay.
I love Bobby Flay.
Yeah, I like that he kind of just can cook anything. You know, like I was telling you, he's not an Italian chef. He's not a Hawaiian chef. He's just like a white dude that's like, hey man, like I can cook anything. And like people respect him for that. And he has so much love for the Latino culture. And so, you know, I resonate with that. I resonate being like, hey man, I'm just gonna cook whatever I want and it's gonna be better than you. And like, I like that show Beat Bobby Flay.
Oh my gosh, that's so
it was like, hey, what's up? My name's Steve, and today I'm gonna make the best grilled cheese sandwich, and Bobby, you're going down. Right? And then Bobby just like, looking at the clock, and he's like, oh, I think I burnt it. And then the judges taste it, and they want to hate so bad on him. And I'll be like, well, Bobby, your edges are a little crusty. Right? And then at the end, he's like, the show is called Beat Bobby Flay.
Yeah.
Like, I won. Like, this is my show. And so, I like that he can do that. That he can just be like, hey man, come and try to beat me, but you won't.
I love that. It's all about the self-confidence and the self-worth you have in yourself.
Exactly. So, I like Bobby Flay. I like Kanye West. Who else was a huge influence? Or who else did I look up to? Like, I don't really look at like chefs. Like, I'm not like, hey man, this is my favorite chef. Like this dude Escoffier is supposed to be like the dude that like wrote the like original cookbook. But I'm like, Escoffier was probably racist.
Probably.
You know, I look at like modern chefs and they're all like using tweezers and I'm gonna take this, you know, blah 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 and turn this into blah blah blah. And I'm like, that's cool, but does it taste good?
Right.
So
That's all that matters.
yeah, so I'm a little different. So I don't really say like, hey, this is my favorite chef or anything like that. But there was this guy, no, not was, there is this guy, and his name is Chef Jose Mendin. And he was the executive chef for a place called Sushi Samba in Miami Beach, which was like a Brazilian restaurant that served sushi.
What?
Which I was like,
That's so
this is
odd.
on my alley, you know, like let me go check this out.
Yeah.
So he was like the executive chef of Sushi Samba for like 17 years, and then he created his own group of restaurants with his friends, and he makes like Puerto Rican and Asian fusion food.
Well, that's something you don't see every day.
Yeah, and I like that he was like, I'm gonna think out of the box, but I'm gonna stay true to like my culture, and so I have followed him on Instagram for like all these years, and I moved to Miami and I was like, you know what, like, I was working in a 5-star hotel. I worked in 2 5-star hotels. One was called the Satai, one was called the Faina. It's like real fancy. It's like $35 for a Caesar salad with no chicken on it. And I was like, you know what, I like this job, but I kind of want to go work for Chef Jose Medin. And the opportunity came to get a job there, but as a bartender. And I was like, alright, let me give it a shot. Let me just go learn something. And so I went and I worked as a bartender. It was okay. But thank you so much, Robin. It was okay, but it wasn't like I was doing what I wanted to. I wanted to be in the back, like cooking with these dudes. And I'm in the back, like bringing in food that I made from the house. Like, hey, taste this. Like, I'm legit. Hire me. Like, put some money in my pocket, man.
Right.
And he didn't really ever like go for it. He was just like, oh yeah, yeah. Like, oh, this is great. You know, like this is good. And I kind of like, I don't know. I didn't get discouraged, but I guess I
probably
always,
didn't feel the best.
yeah, you know, I guess I always thought like super highly of myself, and I always thought like it was gonna just come. It was just gonna happen. It was gonna happen because of who I am, and
So you believe in yourself.
yeah, it never did happen like that. It wasn't until I was like, oh man, I gotta go get it. So a lot of that like Kanye West mentality like comes into place. But eventually, you know, he did ask me to come work for him, like as a chef, and I said no. Which is It's kind of funny, like looking back on it. Like this is what I really wanted, and when the opportunity came around, I declined. But I guess I'm kind of one of those like, hey man, you missed out because you should have asked me like before then.
Yeah.
Which is like really cocky and arrogant, and like I don't suggest anybody does that. Like take every opportunity that you get. But looking back on it, Chef Jose Mendin has like 10 restaurants. He's got one in Puerto Rico, one in Mexico City, got one in France and Spain. It's like this is like super like awesome and popular chef. But hey, I got one. You know, like I might get there one day. But definitely somebody who I look up to and respect. So my 3 people, I love to talk. My 3 people, huge influence: Kanye West, Bobby Flay, Chef Jose Mendin, Anthony Bourdain too. I love to travel. I love to see the world, and I think that a lot of my eye and like understanding like culture and understanding like having a soft heart for people who are different than I am. I learned a lot of that from him, and so he's definitely up there.
So, what's our next step in this fruit salad?
All right, check this out. Look how beautiful. We got all this fresh fruit. Y'all saw we just cut this, so it's fresh. We got our agave nectar in here. We got some lime juice. I'm probably gonna have to go with some more lime juice. And look at that. It's very beautiful. Bananas are gonna be the best part, I think. They're gonna soak up all this juice. So now we're gonna go in with some tahini. Classico.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Tahini is so good.
So tahini has like chili. I think it's Wagyu chili. I can't really promise you what it is. But there's dehydrated lime juice in here, some citric acid. So it kind of gives you like a little spice, but then it also gives you like some bite from the citrus. So we're just gonna sprinkle enough. I know there's some kids out there that
Picky
like
kids.
this, but hey, come on. Some kids that don't really like that much spicy, so we won't make it too crazy for you. But we'll get this all mixed in there, and
It looks so good.
yeah. So if you have a pool party or anything like that, you mix some fruit, some agave, some fresh mint, some
Oh,
tahini.
I can smell it. It smells
Smell it?
so good.
Ooh. I need a big bowl like this at home.
That's a awesome bowl.
Yeah. So I wanted to get it mixed so that when you get a scoop, if you want to zoom in on that, you can see that the pieces are, you know, they're not fully coated, but they're coated enough that you're going to get some of that chili, some of that little spice, some of the citrus, and a piece of fresh mint every once in a while with some lime. I mean, come on.
Who wouldn't like that?
Who wouldn't like that? And I hate when people say, there's nothing better than. Like, come up with something creative. I don't have the substitution for that yet, but when I do, I'll let you know. But I hate when people are like on Instagram, there's like, is there anything better than? There's nothing better than, but this legitimately, I don't think that there's anything better than a big bowl of fruit.
Hypocritical a little
Right.
bit.
So I'm just gonna jazz up some more mint and some lime juice, and we're good to go. And then we're gonna cut some fresh cilantro to go on the elote salad. Our chicken and our beef is already in the oven. Our beans are working. What else? We have some fresh salsa that we made. I think everybody's in for a treat.
I know, I'm excited. So, what is your most favorite thing on your menu?
My favorite thing on the menu. Wow.
At your restaurant, obviously.
Yeah, I would say probably the guacamole. The reason why I say that is if you make guacamole, like, let's be honest, like, guacamole is delicious. Like,
Everybody loves guacamole.
everybody loves guacamole. If you come to me, make sure you say guacamole and you don't say G-U-A-C. You can say it out loud.
Guac.
Yeah, I hate that word. I'm like, hey, we're gentrifying, you know, a recipe. Like, I don't like that. Like, you know, Chipotle, you can call it that. Or, you know, Sabra, the hummus makers, they call it that. But if
Yeah.
you see me out here, like, I'm making guacamole. And when I was like maybe 16 or 17, my dad's best friend at the time was Mexican and his wife was from El Salvador. and she taught me how to make guacamole. And I just think to myself, like, yo, I would really hate to like dishonor like the culture and what she taught me by just calling it guac. Like, this is guacamole, man.
That simplifies it.
Yeah, like, you know, I know it simplifies it, makes it easier, but it wasn't that easy to make this.
No, it wasn't.
It took a lot of time and effort. So, like, you can just say like 5 more letters and you'll be alright. But the reason why I love it so much is because the history behind it. And with that story that, you know, she was able to teach me something, and that over the years, I stayed true to her techniques, but added in like my own little seasonings, and a couple like different little tricks to make it my own. And through like all my years of just being like showing up to a house party with a big bowl of guacamole, or just being like, you know, hungry and making a big bowl of guacamole, or be the Super Bowl or Cinco de Mayo, like I was always the dude like with the guacamole. And there's always like that one person that's like, I make the best guacamole, and I'm like, man, you don't.
Because I do.
Yeah, your guacamole has chickpeas in it. That's, you know, like.
I've never had guacamole with chickpeas in it.
You don't want to. So, nonetheless, there's been like plenty of people in my life that have kind of like just not accepted that, you know, that I do make the best guacamole. They kind of want to like put me in a box or kind of do whatever, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm sticking to this joint, man. Like, this guacamole, like this is how I make it. You can call it whatever you want, but you gotta call it the best. So, that's the answer to your question. But I take a lot of pride in all my recipes. It's a very small menu, but if you keep it simple, you're able to execute everything to perfection. So, like, if you're out there and you offer a service to somebody, like, if you offer so many different services, it's hard to do every single one of them perfect.
Right.
Like, if you do hair and makeup, like, you do hair and makeup. But if you do hair and makeup and lashes and extensions and this and that, it's like, man, like, you know, you're doing a lot. Like, I don't know if, you know, is my pedicure gonna be perfect, but my lashes might be crooked. Like, come on. Just stick to doing what you do best.
Right.
But, and that's kind of where I came from. It's like, you know, I know that it's very tough to have, like, there's 3 components to the taco. There's the tortilla, there's the meat, and there's the salsa. Those are like the 3 major components. And if you do all 3 of those the best, then you have a perfect 10. I personally have never had a perfect 10. I've never gone to a taco restaurant and been like, no, I had a 9.7. But,
Right.
you know, I never had one that was like, dang, that's the one. And so that's what I strive for. But I know that, like, I came a long way with the tortilla. I came a long way with the salsa, but can't nobody touch me when it comes to the meat. So I take a lot of pride in all the meat recipes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your burrilla?
Yes.
To die for.
So I'll correct your pronunciation.
Birria. Sorry.
Birria.
Birria?
Birria.
So good.
Birria, yes. So that started off just solely like, I can't take credit for that. I was in Mexico and I had some birria and it was like not very good. I didn't like it. I mean, no disrespect to the dudes that hooked that up. Like, it just wasn't really my preference. And so when I seen it like all over Instagram and Facebook, I'm like, man, y'all really want that? But then I made it and it was banging. But during the pandemic when we were closed, I was like, all right, I need to come up with a way to really make this like the best. And I didn't want it to be just the best in the area. I wanted to be one of the best in the United States. Can you give me a spoon? What's in here?
Cilantro, do you cut out the stem with it, or do you take it
I
out?
try to take it out, but it's gonna be so much that like just cut the big stems off and then just start like.
We got forks.
Yeah, I'll take one of these. Tell me if we need a little sweetness.
That's really good.
You think it needs a little sweetness?
I
Can you
think
taste
it's
the
good.
lime?
I can definitely taste the lime.
Okay. Do we need sugar?
I don't think so. I think
Okay,
it's so
cool.
good.
Boom. There's our fruit salad.
Especially let it marinate for a little bit longer.
Fruit salad done. So the Birria recipe, we were in pandemic, and I was like, you know what? Let me figure out a way to make it banging. And I'm thinking to myself, all right, there's meat and there's cheese. The cheese has to be better than what I have.
Right.
So I was looking around at my resources and I contacted the Caputo Brothers Creamery, right down the street,
Right.
Spring Grove.
Yeah.
And I reached out to Rin Caputo, and she was like, you know what? Like, yeah, we can definitely make this Oaxaca cheese that you're looking for.
Right.
And I was like, oh, like, cool, like, when can we start? She's like, can you come tomorrow? Like, the next thing you know, I'm like in the cheese factory, like, pulling cheese and like rubbing it with the bowl. That whole operation is like incredible.
Right.
The whole staff there, incredible. The products that they do, incredible. The family, amazing.
Cheers.
So I really love Caputo Brothers Creamery, but they really helped me take that dish to the next level. And if you ever get up there, it's literally brisket that we slow cook and a broth that we slow cook for like 7 hours, and then slow cook the brisket in there for like 5 hours. So once again, it can't be bad.
No,
Then we chop
absolutely.
it up, we season it, then we take their cheese, slap it in
Oh
the
my
tortilla.
gosh. So
And then you dunk it in.
you
It's
get
great.
messy when you eat it, but
Yeah,
it's good.
It's great.
So good.
It's great stuff. I really do love that dish. So that is most definitely like the best item. But the guacamole sits in my heart just because it's spirit. So I'm thinking, what is our next project? Let me see if I can get a little bit of the elote and see if we can set up here. And I'll kind of like dress one and kind of explain to it so that everybody can kind of know what they're looking for.
Right.
Yes, yes, yes.
That's salsa.
Can I go right in there? Just a second.
Creamy stuff. That's what you mix with the corn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, perfect, honey.
And do you need this stuff?
Yeah, we're gonna put that in a bowl.
Okay.
So we'll have a bowl of coffee, a bowl of cheese, and a bowl of the
Okay.
and then I'll just take a little bit of the coffee and the cilantro and the cheese. And is there any more that's ready there?
Yeah, it's in the water.
Okay, cool. Yep. Just gonna get like that food.
That needs to want a container like that instead.
You know the bowl that you just had?
This stuff here, I think it's found ready to eat. Yes, dear. Okay, I'm gonna go right now. Right, maybe here. Same thing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sweetheart. Just do it next to the phone. Okay.
I don't know what we're gonna do. I figured we could just ask like if they want to copy them and sprinkle it on there. I don't know if that's what they do. I can't make that exactly. I mean, if we wanted to, we could put like a little bit of each. I think yeah, then we'll just serve it. Yeah, it's okay. I'm just taking a little bit for to show how we put it together on the video. Just portion it a little, that's it.
All right. Step up. Oh, sorry. What? Oh, yeah. So what do we got here?
Okay, I'll need another spoon.
Another spoon.
But I don't know if you can zoom in. You got a real good shot of the corn here?
Got it, Nate?
Yes.
You got our corn.
So this is our Latte Salad. It's legitimately the most popular dish that I have. What was your name?
Nathan.
Nathan, alright. I'm gonna put this together, then Nathan's gonna take a bite, and maybe we can get a little reaction to see what he thinks about it.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay? So this is corn. Typically we char the corn. In this industrial kitchen, we don't have flat tops, so what we do is we bake the corn off to give it a little texture. We make a mayonnaise-based dressing. Can't tell you all the ingredients, but just know I'm working on being able to sell it. Maybe
It's a secret.
It is a secret. Maybe you'll see it on the shelf in Kenny's in the near future. Just waiting for approval from the FDA. But it's a mayonnaise-based dressing. It's got some citrus in there, some seasonings, a lot of stuff you probably already saw me work with. Then we have some onions in there. We make it warm, and then we're gonna give it a little Mexican flag here. We're gonna take our crushed Takis. Take our cotija cheese. Cotija is kind of like Parmesan cheese, but Mexican version. That's not as salty. It's kind of like a natural.
Very crumbly.
Yeah, it's super crumbly because it's dry cheese. But look at it like Parmesan cheese that just isn't so salty. And then we're gonna go in with our fresh cilantro. So I don't really know how we're gonna do this for 500 students, but maybe we'll just top it as I go. You'll see me out there with a smile on my face. Cilantro's a little big there, but. Maybe I could have not covered up the Takis so much, but you get the idea. I'm not a physical painting artist, but it's still beautiful nonetheless. All right, so Nathan, you want to come take a bite?
Sure.
See if we can get him in the shot. If someone wants to switch over.
I got it.
Yeah, come on. So you get to take the official first bite. Thank you.
Gotta get a little bit of everything in there.
Yeah, get the full experience. Oh, whoa.
Banging?
Yeah,
All right, man.
that's really good.
Really good. So you can see you have like the texture that you get from the Takis. You got the cheese, the freshness from the fresh cilantro, and then you get in there with the creaminess of that corn. The corn kernels kind of pop with that sweetness, and you just got this crazy flavor explosion. And it's like warm, but then you get the coolness. It's just messing with your
Right.
mouth. It's crazy stuff. Do I sound like the spring grove version of Guy Fieri right now? Can I back the El Camino into the cafeteria? Let's do it.
Oh my gosh.
All right, so you guys can. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna taste it. I got myself a fork. It's the corn salad. Oh, with all this stuff on it. There's a fork in there.
It's really good.
Here, I'm gonna mix it with it.
As a warning, it's got a very big piece.
Yeah.
It's got a very big piece, but it's really good.
The Takis are
Yeah, but it's so good.
the Takis are spicy.
Did you get to eat it on camera?
Yeah, I cannot stress enough how good this was.
I literally want to jump off the roof and die for that bowl.
It's so good. Okay.
I threw them away.
Yeah. That is so good.
It is.
It has so many flavors.
Not really a big fan of corn.
Look at all those Takis.
Oh wow. Is that all of them? That's the best.
Yeah. Yeah. We got a bunch of Takis down here.
That is crazy. All of these donuts are like that. We gotta take a field trip.
bit bad
It
to
is
say I don't
spicy.
like tacos.
I don't like that. Got a bite-sized cup.
The reason there's not enough to go through all of the lunches.
What?
They said they're worried that there wouldn't be enough to go through all of our lunches.
Yeah, seriously.
Did you guys try this?
That?
Is that the corn?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, this is amazing.
It's so good.
It is. I love that stuff.
I can definitely see why it's most popular right on the menu.
Well, we see what they don't want. Obviously, the toppings on the spices. I do like that. So my mom's here. Yeah, I like it.
I mentioned it better than all that stuff.
What's that?
Another understanding.
Everyone's a big fan of the.
Yeah, it's almost gone.
Don't forget that.
You see what I was saying, where there's like the texture and it's creamy, but it's also a little sweet. It's really fun.
It's
really
so
fun.
good.
I see like people can make this at home. Will it be as good? No. But you could make a version and it would still be banging. But
Yeah.
nonetheless, everybody's in for a real treat.
It's delicious.
Look at how beautiful.
It is so pretty.
So now when the students suggest this salad comes back, you know what to do.
They're never going to eat applesauce cups again.
Right?
I'm on the Nutrition Advisory Council, so.
Oh,
Okay.
there you go.
Well, it was organic,
Yeah. I have a
if you
question.
will.
Where does Elton John in the car, but like, what is the story behind that? Where does that come from?
Are we filming?
Yeah. You want to go first? I'm asking. I just
I don't
asked
know
her a
if I
question.
can say it correctly.
About. So I asked why El Camino, obviously the car, but like, what is the story behind?
So the origin of the name, Taqueria El Camino. I first started off and like coming up with the name of your business is like the hardest thing that you can possibly do because that's like what you're gonna live with for the rest of your life. Like that's where your branding comes from. And salsa. Okay. A little thought went into it. I originally wanted to name my restaurant Sabor Mezclado. My dad was like, that's way too hard to pronounce. But it means mixed flavors. And being that I'm mixed race, my mom's white, my dad's black, I thought that was like a cool way to like integrate like who I am in my origin, but also putting the sabor and integrating the Latino aspect of it because that's the cuisine that I prepare. And my dad was like, hey man, like people are not gonna be able to pronounce that. And I was like, alright, cool, like let me work on it. And so then my mind like started going and I started thinking of like the car culture that we have here. You know, like we have Hot Rod Week, we have all these other things.
Right.
And then the car, El Camino, it means the way, like the path. So I thought to myself, you know what, people will know how to say El Camino, but it's still like Latino, but it's still also like, you know, Caucasian people know what that is, and they can kind of, you know, relate to it. So as far as taqueria, people can't pronounce that. They always say taqueria, or they'll be like, I don't know how to pronounce that, what your restaurant's called. You can just call it El Camino, but like when you're in Mexico and you're at a taqueria, like it's either like Taqueria Joe, or Taqueria Green, or Taqueria Steven. It's just name, you just call it a taqueria and then it has its name. So being that we specialize in tacos, we are a taqueria, we are Taqueria El Camino. So it was a little bit more deeper to it. I grew up in West York before I moved to Springboro.
Yeah.
Right on 30, where that guy has like all those like old El Caminos, like kind of across the way. And me and my brother used to always think that those cars were like so funky and so weird. And it was like really cool, like because it was a memory that me and my brother shared. So I told him I'm gonna buy an El Camino, and he's like, "Oh man, like you gotta do it." So I actually did buy a 1967 El Camino. Wow. It's getting worked on right now, and I got it like inked on my forearm. You know what I'm saying? Holding it down. You know, Guy Fieri style. You know what I'm saying? So I really love it, and it was something. The El Camino is something that was built in the United States, but marketed towards Latinos. Yeah. And so I think that if you really start thinking into deeper of what this means, it's something similar to me, like, you know, that I'm American, you know, but it is something that is marketed towards Latinos. So it's got a lot of deep meaning to it. It's not just, you know, just slap some name up there and call it what it is, but I'm super happy for it. There are other Taqueria El Caminos. I guess I should have looked that up before.
I'm sure there's not one in Dover.
There's not one in Dover, but there's one in Oklahoma, and I'm coming for you. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I'm super excited, and be on the lookout. We have an El Camino cookbook that will be coming out shortly. And when you taste the elote, know that you will be able to make it at home. Very soon, we're gonna have it available in bottles. Once again, waiting for it to get approved by FDA. But making big moves.
Yeah, that's really good.
So we're getting close here. You see the fruit salad getting cupped up. If I we put all this fruit together, but it was a lot for everybody to get one. But if I zoom in here, you're gonna see that you'll get a nice little cup here that's got all your different fruits here: mandarin oranges, grapes, bananas, pineapple, some strawberry, and each one has that agave nectar. You can see the little bits of the tahini. You can see the acidity from the lime. Well, you can't see it, but you'll taste it. And also the it's in there. The agave nectar and the fresh mint. So, bang it. How many cups you gotta do? 500?
Till the bowl's empty.
Okay.
I don't know what that'll make.
So the kids that were late to lunch, what was that, on Tuesday?
Yes.
If there's any left over, they're in for a treat today.
Yes.
Take all the fruit. Okay. What are the odds that there's any elote left over by the end of the day?
None.
I don't think so either.
None.
I heard that there were students that were getting like extra lunch money.
I feel like I need to scoop mine up before they
I
come.
feel like that's what you're gonna do. Just like disclaimer to any students out there: if there's any corn missing by the third lunch, just
if there's not enough of that by my lunch, I'm gonna be angry.
It's in my belly.
Just know that.
Yeah, Rachel, when I walk in, you might be eating my
You just see the staff members with some corn,
Yes.
their masks. It wasn't me. Ma'am, I see the taki dust on your fingertips. Just back there with a spoonful of taki dust.
Yes.
I'm thinking about doing like a, you know how they have Caesar salad kits?
Yes.
I want to do like an elote kit. They have the corn and the onions in the bag. They have a thing of the sauce and like a thing of the taki.
I'll tell you, Sam's Club had a special on that like a few months back, and me and my daughter went and bought it.
But it was an actual salad.
No, this was just like the street corn. It had the corn, it had the bag of the crunch. It was
Man, Sam still doesn't want to see me flourish. Hold me back from all my great ideas.
Like,
What do we want to do next?
The fruit too. I don't know.
We did fruit.
How are you doing your tacos? Like, is
I was
anything
gonna say
special?
maybe you can like throw a taco together out there.
Okay, I can do something.
Is it anything special or is it just like
So yeah, so what we did is we're being resourceful with the ingredients in which we have here in the cafeteria. But what we did is we took the chicken, in which we typically you would have the chicken, but we took like a marinade that we make at Taqueria EL Camino. So we have Wahio chilies that we rehydrated. We roasted some tomatoes, some onions, fresh herbs, cilantro, oregano, all that jazz. A few jalapenos. And we make it into this big like blend. And we toss the chicken, and we roasted it for maybe about an hour. So it starts to get like nice and tender and the sauce reduces. Then we let it sit overnight so it kind of congeals and the chicken is actually able to absorb all that flavor. And then we reheated it. So I know that the chicken is Flavor City. I mean, we're just dropping flavor bombs on you all day. The chicken, incredible, right? Can I get that Jamaican air horn? Then the ground beef, like I said when I showed y'all, is done Dominican style, so Carne Asada, stewed ground beef. But then we mix in, because we had in the sofrito, and then we have the fresh cilantro. But we also still made our own blend of taco spices to kind of give it, it's done in Dominican style, but still honoring the Americanized Mexican way of making ground beef tacos. So you take pretty much equal parts of chili powder, cumin, paprika, garlic powder, and then I like to go in to give it like my little Caribbean Latino flair. I add in a little sazon and adobo. So if you're Puerto Rican or Dominican or Cuban, you understand these flavors that I add into the spice mixture to make it unique, and also some dried oregano. So it's like when you get a taco seasoning packet, but good. Because that stuff is like, okay, this is hanging. So we have a lot. We'll go show y'all. We'll show you how the beans came out. I tried the beans. They're banging. Everybody's gonna like it. So I'll go make sure that everything's set up, and then we'll do that. Okay?
Yeah, I did have the haunting realization that I have the last lunch of the day. So, stuff might be missing.
That's why we should try some now.
Yeah.
Miss Doyle said, I told Miss Doyle about the fruit, and she's like, you should go down there and snag a cup for me.
You know how you get like a can of fruit cocktail?
Yeah.
That nasty stuff. Wouldn't this be amazing?
The way she
And this.
I know. That, it looks so good. Air out your pores.
That's why I don't have no symptoms on my face. He's nasty. You got it.
It's really good on camera.
You should have a dose.
Seriously. Hey, there's something going on with the camera.
What?
Cool. Something going on with the camera. Look at the textures.
Just put it down. Just but not on your.
Not
I know.
anything.
Yeah. See, oh yeah. The way that should be.
Alright, so we're gonna, is it on?
Yeah, we're having some issues with that.
Technical difficulty.
Okay. So what we'll do is we'll shoot, like I'll show the tortillas, and then we'll kind of come over here and I'm gonna pull a tortilla out of the steamer and scoop a little of the beef in there and kind of show them like, it's yummy.
Okay.
And then we'll go over to the line and we'll just kind of show like the line coming together and all that stuff. How are we doing that?
Yeah.
We can't see it.
Wait, wait.
It's only on the camera.
Okay.
Ready?
Yes.
Alright, so as far as assembling our tacos, we're gonna use la banderita. La banderita. Corn tortillas. Real tacos are made on corn tortillas. Preferably homemade, but me and all the staff would say, my goodness, we're not making homemade tortillas, but these will be very nice. We're gonna steam them just a touch so that they get a little softer, and so that they're absorbent to the, the juices that are gonna come on the tacos. One thing, I know a lot of people out there like flour tortillas. Flour tortillas are, they're good, for what they are. Yes, but in the spirit of Cinco de Mayo being yesterday, and that we're gonna shoot for like adding some authentic flavors into what we're typically used to eating here, we're gonna use corn tortillas today, and I'm gonna show you what it looks like when we pull them out. And this is I'm sorry.
No.
Alright, so I'm gonna grab a steamer. Alright, when you steam the tortilla, can you pass me that bag right there? Yep, this is education. Let me be a teacher today. I will show you. When you have your tortilla, when you just smack it right out of the pack, I mean, you're just dealing with, it's here. They crumble very easily because they're tortillas. But it's cold, it's not anything to really laugh at. When you got that nice, Nathan, can you come here? You put your hand out. See, you got a little cold tortilla, now pull this one. Oh, nice and warm. Yeah. It's appealing, like you wanna bite it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take this tortilla here, this nice warm tortilla. We're gonna get our Carne Asada. Right? Alright, you can step back in. But still hold those tortillas for no other reason other than just to look like you're holding tortillas. And then here we have our taco with our ground beef. It's like a little spin on what you would typically have, but with way more flavor.
Right.
So it looks pretty good, right? So now we can go out. We can go out to the line, and we'll kind of see
Looking good, Nate.
what the lineup is.
I can bring it out for you. I'll bring it.
Which line do you want to use?
Amazing. What do you need?
Like the toppings.
They're going to cheese it here,
Okay, cool.
and then the kids will pick up their salsa and sour cream themselves. Yep. And then, is your cilantro going on the tacos?
We can.
Or do you want that for your, at the end of your,
Yeah, put it right here.
do you want it with this? Or do you want the cilantro?
Okay, yeah, just put it right here. Right here.
Yeah, and
If they
then-
want some, we can add some.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, and then can you just bring, there's a thing of salsas that are cupped right there. Can you just grab one? On that table that we were at. I'm sorry to just ask you to do something. Alright, so you can come right here and then we'll yeah, that's fine.
Just trying to get the sign with the... 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 Just trying to get the sign with the
You don't have to keep holding those anymore. I was just messing with
Where
you.
should I put them?
This is in the trash.
Alright.
Unless you're really hungry. I mean.
Okay. Alright, you ready?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm just going to show you how we can put together the tacos today. Let's say we're going to do the ground beef. We have cheese here. You can cheese it up because I love cheese. You love cheese. Everyone loves cheese. If you don't love cheese, oh, I know you're lying. We have our salsa here. This is a roasted tomato salsa that we made yesterday. It's got bell peppers, jalapenos, onion, cilantro. Also a little chipotle pepper. So it's got a little spice to it, nothing crazy. If you don't like any spicy, you can use the everyday red gold, but we don't want that. You're gonna add your salsa right here. Alright, let's say you like traditional American tacos. You can use sour cream. I'm not gonna put that on mine. You like a little spicy like myself, we got the Cholula, you know, a little packet. Spice up your life a little bit. Right? And if you wanna, you know, add a little cilantro, you can ask for that. You might add a little cilantro in there. I mean, I actually don't think sour cream would be so bad on this. Mainly because I think that I can make it look kind of cute. Let's see what my skills are right here with this. Watch as one man attempts to put sour cream.
Gorgeous.
Come on! Right out of the pack!
Oh, we're zoomed in as far as we can go with this
Alright.
one.
You want to try this one?
I don't like that.
You don't want to try it?
No, I don't like that.
He's picky.
Who's coming? Someone come try it. Someone, you don't want to
I'll
try it?
try.
All right, come on.
I'm down to eat.
Step up to the plate. All right, show them.
Okay, Ellie,
Make-
let's
let
get
him
in
see
on
it.
the shot here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. What's the verdict?
Very good.
Good? All right, cool. So you can kind of see that we'll have our beef. We'll also have our, I'm making a mess here, our chicken. We're going to have our cheese, our refried beef, our elote, and the Mexican fruit salad. It's all going to be down here. I'm super excited to serve you guys. This is a couple days in the making, and I think that it's going to be one of the most epic lunches in Springfield.
Yeah, we're, we're very excited.
Cool? All right, let me go
The
get cleaned up.
salsa is banging.
How are you?
Good, babe. You know,
Yeah, we'll just, Robin's doing something real quick.
Hey, they want to get our picture, but wait till we get this done.
Don't yell at him.
oh, you got that one, Kim.
Good salt.
Is that thing rolling?
Yep.
Yeah, the audio is on.
Dude, we can't hear you guys, but the audio is on.
So we're coming to a close. What an experience. It's been awesome working with the whole entire staff here. Once again, it's me, Chef Ethan Greer. Class of 09, Spring Grove, coming home, trying to do something pretty cool and unique. In my eyes, probably legendary. No one's ever done this before. I'd like to also Google fact check how many people have an entire menu on a high school, alma mater's school for a day. Probably one of a kind. But nonetheless, I'm really happy for everybody to come and try it. All the delicious food that we made. I think it's going to be really incredible. I hope to see a lot of smiles on the faces. If you don't like it, we got some salads and sandwiches, but I think that you're going to like it. And other than that, that's it. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for everybody for hosting me. Shout out to Mr. Miller and Mr. Miller for inviting me. Shout out to Dr. DJ for allowing me to come here. And other than that, thank you so much to all the staff that I've been working with for 2 days. It's been a lot of fun. And to all the students, if you were able to listen to what I had to say, it means so much. I'm always available for any questions that you may have. If you want to get into the restaurant industry, or if you just need some words of how to get out there and go get it, you can message me on Instagram at Ethan Greer. Come check out my restaurant in Dover, 81 West Camino Street, right across the street from the old high school, the new middle school. But anyway, just want to be a part of the community and keep coming back and keep doing what I can to inspire the youth. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Very safe.
I just want to say, I'm ready to get